Something I did off camera is I pulled this bolt out and I put a layer of grease on the bearings on the inside of this, the bolt itself, and the washer. It's not necessary, I just felt compelled to do it. Will it increase longevity? I don't know. But it's just something I felt like doing. So you can do that if you feel like it, if you've got the grease. If not, don't fret, you should be fine. Alright, first step, we're going to grab our little arm and this little mushroom headed bolt. Thread it in, and that will be what our spring sits on the arm. Next, we want to grab our motor and make sure that the slotted side is facing the same direction as the connector, and slide our little gear with the filament teeth facing the top and the gear teeth facing the bottom. For this next step, we're going to need 2 mushroom headed bolts and the one with the cone shaped head. These are all 2mm. Alright, we're going to slide our stepper motor underneath the Z-axis carriage, and we're going to throw our base plate down. And then we're going to grab our conical bolt and put it in the one that's shaped like the cone. It's pretty obvious. Come on, baby. Stop making me look like a scrub on my YouTube video. Alright, and we want to get this kind of loose, that way we can maneuver the bracket around. And then we want to take our 2 small mushroom headed bolts, put them in these 2 holes in the back. Alright. Just a little snug. Alright, and then we'll go get this one tight. You can go back and snug these 2 up nice and firm. Now we're going to take our gear assembly and align these teeth that grab the filament to this hole that the filament travels out of. So just raise it to about where you want it, and then grab your 1.5mm Allen key and snug this set screw down. That looks good. For this step, we're going to grab our large mushroom headed bolt, come around the back side over here, thread it in, and to tighten this one down, we will be using a 2.5mm Allen key. Get it to just barely come out this side so we can have a little bit of area for this piece to sit on. So you may notice that mine has this Bowden tube holder that's notched out. That doesn't come with the kit, and that's something custom that I'm doing in order to feed the extruder itself with a Bowden tube from a dryer, and it's notched to clear the Z-axis screw. Your kit comes with 2 of these large ones. Those won't fit.
Hi, Daddy.
Yes, ma'am?
Those won't fit.
Yeah, those won't fit. So you're going to need to grab a smaller one and notch it out if you're going to be doing a similar setup. Again, this part's not necessary for installation, but here comes the part that we need 6 hands. We're going to grab our arm and then this collar. I greased mine. Again, that's just because I'm extra. It's probably not necessary. So you slide that sleeve in, then we grab our spring, put it around this bolt, and then grab this part that the other bolt rides on, and then we're going to grab this whole assembly along with this long bolt and snake it all in there. I'm going to slide that bolt in. And then we got to try to thread that in. There we go. You want to tighten that bolt down. Alright, and the last part for the hardware installation, we want to slide the part that holds our Bowden tube on. Tighten that down. And again, this is aluminum, you don't want to get crazy with it and strip it. A step I almost forgot to mention is you want to reinstall this electrical connector. Alright, next we're going to grab a light colored filament, and you're going to make 2 dots. You can see the one, black one right there, and another one right there. You're going to make those 100 millimeters or 10 centimeters apart. Alright, we're going to install our filament into the extruder, and we're going to install it all the way to the point that our first dot is at the entrance to the extruder. Now, in order to demonstrate that our E-steps are off, we are going to move the extruder 100 millimeters. Alright, as you can see, our second dot stopped short of the entrance to our extruder itself, and that is because the diameter of the part that grabs the filament is smaller, changing the ratio. So what we're going to need to do is compensate with our E-steps. Alright, so I'm running a custom Marlin firmware. If you're running the Marlin firmware, the way that you'll adjust your E-steps is by going to Configuration, Advanced Settings, Steps per millimeter, and E-steps. Mine started at 93, and my sweet spot so far is 138.5. Alright, to verify that we got our adjustments right, we're going to move our spot to the entrance of the extruder again. And we're going to move the extruder axis, or the E axis, 100 millimeters. If you're running the stock Creality firmware, you're going to have to get your hot end hot. Just make sure it's not sitting somewhere dangerous, like on a bed of straw, on a tank of gasoline, anything like that. And boom, you can see our adjustment at 138.5 is dead on. You can try that, it should get you into the ballpark for sure. Alright, I got my setup set up on how I plan on running it. I've got everything preheated, and I'm going to make sure that this filament I have installed ends on the second dot, set at 100 millimeters, while it's actually extruding the filament. So let's see what happens. Dead on. Alright guys, let me know if you have any questions.